when it comes to collecting action figures, it can get to be a jungle out there. Prepare for launch. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Luna Figs, coming to you once again from the Nerd Den, located high atop Luna Base. And today we're looking at a brand new line of figures for me, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Let's get into them. Here we go. Got two figures here from Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I did pick these up directly from the guys at Spero Toys during my recent trip to Toylanta. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out that video of my coverage of a great toy show down at Atlanta. It was great seeing these guys down there. Super friendly, super helpful. I went back to the booth several times checking out this line. They were very helpful and gave me some really great information and really helped me out making a decision as to what two figures I wanted to pick up. I was originally only going to get one figure, but could not narrow it down, so I did pick these two. Thought they were a great representation of the line. So let's start off by checking out the packaging. We have Kah Lee in Conquest Armor. Nice big window packaging so you can see all of the figure. Got some cool artwork on the side here. And also on the back, got a little bio there. And a call out showing some of the other figures in the line. There are a lot more figures than just these 6. So make sure you check out the rest of the line. I will make sure to leave a link in the description so you can do that. Then we have Atreiu. Again, looks great in the window packaging. You can totally see the figure and his accessories. More cool artwork on the side there and the back. And another little bio about this character. And the same call outs on the back as well. But enough about the boxes. Let's get the figures open. We've got Kah Lee out of the package now. Let's start off by taking a look at his accessories. Got this nice looking musket type pistol here. Love the detailed sculpt work on this and the gold paint job. Got a little bit of wood grain on the handle there, if you can see that. Love this weapon. We do have a pair of swords, just slightly different looking. I thought they were the same thing at first, but upon further inspection, you can tell the handles and the blades are different from each other. Do really appreciate the scarring on the blades. Don't know if that's coming across in camera or not. Do wish maybe they had just a little bit of weathering to call that out. But again, if you want to customize them, you could do that. Not hard to do, a little bit of weathering pass on these. But nice to have 2 different bladed weapons for him to use. Then we have 2 sets of hands that actually came in a handy little Ziploc bag for storage later. Do appreciate that. We have the 2 gripping hands on the figure. Then we have 2 open hands. Got the gold armor on the back of the hand. And I do appreciate the gold touches on the hinges here, so that doesn't break up the sculpt work. And the dark blue here to carry on the under armor there. And we have 2 fists. Same detail on those as well. Do appreciate that. These do hinge back and forth. One thing of note, this hand that comes on the figure hinges back and forth as well. The gun wielding hand does go up and down. That is a nice touch. I appreciate that for the gun wielding hand. But speaking of articulation, let's check that out. Let's check out the figure now. Love the head sculpt on this. Those eyes are very menacing looking, very intimidating looking character here. Does have this long hair, but it is pretty soft, so it doesn't really get in the way of articulation that much. Looking up is a little bit of a challenge, but he can look up a bit, down a little bit as well. Quite a bit of tilt, and the swivel is really good. It does have this little cape hanging down, again, soft rubber. It is two-toned, got purple on the inside there. Let's check out the arms. This piece on his shoulder, the little lion head, it is soft rubber, so it gets out of the way for a nice T-pose. Goes all the way around, no problem. Swivels up at the top of the bicep. Double jointed elbows. So it bends very nicely. The armor really doesn't get in the way too much either, so that's nice. Then again, we have the wrists that spin and pivot down here. And again, the gun wielding hand does go up and down, so that's a nice touch. We have a joint here at the mid-torso, and it is ratcheted, so listen to this. So, very nice range at the mid-torso. Holds position very well. Then we also have a joint, looks like it's a ball joint at the waist. So lots of articulation there as well. We do have this skirt piece, soft rubber, so it gets out of the way very nicely. See, we kick forward, very nice. Backwards, pretty decent. There's a little bit of a strain there, so be careful, don't overdo it there. Kicking out to the side. Oh yeah, very nice there. Do have a thigh cut hidden by the skirt pieces. Also kind of blends into the armor, the creases there in the armor as well, so that's not super noticeable. So that's nice. We have double jointed knees. Comes up pretty far. The calf and the armor there does hit. The little knee piece here stays on the lower leg, which I appreciate. Doesn't look weird with a knee piece stuck to the bottom of his hip there. We do go down to the feet. Kicks down nicely, kicks forward. This little armor piece, again, is soft rubber, so it gets out of the way. We have a little bit of pivot. And we got some peg holes down at the bottom in case you want to use a stand. But I don't think that's going to be necessary because these joints are nice and tight, but not overly tight. So I think it will hold a pose very nicely. Love the proportions on this figure. He's got really long arms, but you know, he's a gorilla, so that makes sense. I do believe these armor pieces are overlays right here. Let's pop an arm off, or a hand off. Let's see. Yeah, so the gauntlets there are just overlays on the armor. That's a nice touch. Do have a little bit of rub, looks like, on the armor, though. Not sure if that's gold paint from this, or if that's just paint rubbing off of the figure. But it's going to be covered up. So there you go. Got the gorilla feet down here. So very nice. I've got Kah Lee posed up with a couple of his weapons here. The hands are nice and soft, so they get out of the way, and the swords fit in there nice and snug, so he's not going to be dropping those anytime soon. Very easy to pose. Holds the pose very nicely. Stands up, no problem. So a great figure. Let's move on to Atreiu now. Now we have Atreiu out of the package. Let's start off by taking a look at his accessories. Does come with this very imposing looking sword. Great amount of detail on this. Again, have all the scuffs and scrapes on the blade. A little bit of a jewel looks like there in the center. A little bit of paint on the handle as well, the grip there. Pommel looks nice. Again, just a little bit of weathering to call out those details would be very, very nice and appreciated. We have a dagger here, same great quality. Doesn't look to be as much battle damage on this one. Maybe he just got this from the blacksmith, who knows. But again, great looking little dagger there. We have this very cool looking shield right here. I am not sure if that's a dragon's head or a lion's head. I'm assuming since he's a lion, that's a lion's head, but it's kind of hard to tell. Could be either way. But again, very nice sculpt work. Some pock marks and whatnot on the shield. A little bit of leather work here. Very nice looking shield. We do have a handle here. Great detail on the back. Not really going to see that in most cases, but hey, I appreciate the extra detail. Got 2 peg holes here. You got your handle, so whether he's a righty or a lefty, I guess that's up to you to decide. You can put the handle on either side, like so. But you also have this other little peg that pegs in here. You peg that in, and then on the back of the figure is a peg hole, so you can peg the shield on to his back like so, which is a very nice touch. And oh, there's that detail right there. That explains it. Oh, that just shows you the level of detail and attention they're paying to this figure. Very nice touch. I like that. We'll pop that off. The peg does stay in there very nice and tight. In fact, it's a little bit of a challenge to get it out. There we go. But we do have 2 more sets of hands on this figure. We got the 2 open clawing hands right here, and 2 fists. And again, they move just like Kah Lee's hands. Got the back and forth hinges. They are a bit tight out of the package, so got to work with them just a little bit. I'll break those loose off of camera. Not going to fight them right now. But let's take a look at the figure. Checking out the figure, the articulation on this, identical between both figures, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. He does not have the long hair coming down the back, but again, the hair he does have kind of prevents him from looking up too much. Down is pretty nice. Not a lot of tilt, just a little bit, but he looks around very nicely. Again, got the hinge at the middle. Nice ratchet sound. Plenty of articulation. A little bit less armor, so it really gets into the T-pose nicely. The bracers, again, are separate pieces, so they get out of the way. Soft rubber again. Kicks out just the same, so no problems there. I did miss this during Kah Lee's. They do have butterfly joints that are very well hidden, so well done there. Appreciate the butterfly joints, and really appreciate them not affecting the look of the figure. So that's very nice. I'm going to stick some weapons in his hands. We'll take a look at them. Now we have Atreiu posed up with a shield and sword. Again, these weapons very easy to get into position. The hands are very pliable, so no problem getting him to hold his weapons. They are in there secure, so they're not going anywhere. Look very great. Love the paint work on here. Lots of detail in the sculpt as well. Great looking head sculpt. About the only complaint I have is I do wish there was a little bit of weathering to call out all this great sculpt work. I understand why they don't do it, trying to keep costs down, but would still be nice to be able to really appreciate the amount of detail in this sculpting. The paintwork that is on here is great. No slop on the armor or anything. It's a very high quality paint job. And speaking of price, these were $35 a piece for these 2 figures. They do have larger figures that are a little bit more expensive, more intimidating, larger shelf presence, have a few more accessories. But they also have $20 figures that are army builders that are just base bodies, and then you can buy weapons and armor sets that go with them. They also have head sculpt packs that you can purchase. So they have a very wide range of figures that you can choose from. You have your base figures, then you have your army builders. Very cool. Again, I will leave links in the description. They are currently working on a Kickstarter for Wave 2, which looks great. They have those on display at Toy Atlanta. Got to check those out. They are currently doing a Kickstarter for that wave, and you can also pre-order them on Big Bad Toy Store. So make sure to check out those. But I'm going to get these posed up together, then I'll give you my final thoughts. That does it for this closer look at the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And yes, I catch myself every time I say that because I keep wanting to say Warriors of the Animal Kingdom because, you know, you think Animal Kingdom. They go together, but it's Animal Warriors of the Kingdom by Spero Toys. Great looking figures. About the only complaint I have is I do wish there was just a little bit of weathering or something on them to really call out the great looking sculpt work on these figures. It's a shame that it doesn't stand out as much as possible. Really love calling out the detail that they did put into these. But as I mentioned, the paintwork that is on them is really great. Really nice job. Really great attention to detail. Nice wide variety of characters in this line. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description so you can go check them out. There is a Kickstarter going on right now for Wave 2, so make sure you go check that out. But again, great looking figures, fun line to get into. Great job by Spero Toys. But that is all I have for today. If you are new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss my next closer look video or one of my mini toy hunts. That's all I've got for today. I will see you guys next time around.